I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I was going through some papers that you had written about the economic problems, the energy shortfall that Pakistan is facing. Now, if for our viewers' benefit, if you could also highlight what can be done in the short run and in the long run for Pakistan to counter these problems, to curb this shortfall that we're facing.
Well, I'll tell you something. I just published a piece in the Baltimore Sun earlier today, and in that piece I call for the United States to reconsider its treatment of Pakistani exports. At this point, we place barriers against goods that are made in Pakistan, frequently textiles, but also leather goods, sporting equipment, other goods. And I think that if the United States is genuinely serious about wanting to be a good friend to Pakistan, then it is clearly imperative that we take another look at some of our tariff policies so as to enable Pakistanis to sell more goods to the United States. Now, why is this so important? Because the more goods you sell, the more jobs you create here. The more jobs you create here, the more families you have who are busy going about the business of taking care of family business, providing jobs, taking care of children, providing for the future. And I think that's one of the key ingredients in a successful Pakistan. So there is a lot the United States can do. There's a lot your other friends around the world can do. And what I would hope is that we'll be able to find a way to get beyond the current discord in our relationship, which is so prominent today. And remember that at the end of the day, our aspirations are similar, our goals are similar, the threats to our security are similar. We've got to figure out a way to work together. And I think you'll find vast majority of Americans prepared to work with you. I think you're going to find the next president, no matter whether it's Obama or McCain, you'll find the next president also eager to work with you.
Now, Bob, you have also written a paper on the energy shortfalls. Now, according to Pakistan's own data, we're going to be facing a dark future ahead. So, you've given examples of other countries and rural areas that have now become energy efficient and stable on their own accord. What can Pakistan do, in your opinion, to curb this problem? We're facing a serious energy shortfall at the moment.
You sure are. And here I'm a little bit hesitant to be telling Pakistanis how to deal with their own problems, but you're right, I have studied this issue. One of the things that strikes me is that Pakistan has never had a comprehensive energy strategy, which has then been implemented. You've had a number of projects and plans and strategies over the years, and they sound good on paper, and everybody gets excited about them. But then in the process of carrying out these plans, things simply fall apart. They get politicized, senior policymakers get distracted, the competition for resources is such that limited resources are diverted to other also pressing problems. I think if Pakistan is going to succeed, it's got to get serious about its energy situation. It's got to not only have a long-term strategy, but then it's got to have the political will to carry it out. Now, what does that mean? That means taking tough choices. That means actually imposing hardships on people. Now, I think you have to be very careful in doing this. There is a large segment of Pakistani society that simply can't bear any more hardships. And so I would be very cautious about raising the price, for instance, of basic electricity to that sector of Pakistani society. But I think most studies have shown that those who benefit most from subsidies and from other governmental preferential treatment in the energy sector are not the very poor, but they're the middle class and even the well-to-do. And these are the people who have most at stake in a successful Pakistan, and I don't think it's unreasonable to ask them to shoulder their part of the burden. But that takes political will. So you've got to have a political leadership that's prepared to make tough choices, that's prepared to call on Pakistanis to make sacrifices, but always in a way that has the common good as the vision to proceed toward.
Bob, we're very pressed for time, but at this moment I would like to thank you very much for the insight that you've provided, and of course you've done a lot of research on this as well. At this point, since you're from the Woodrow Wilson International Center, I would like to quote Woodrow Wilson himself. He said once, "I would rather belong to a poor nation that was free than to a rich nation that ceased to be in love with liberty." That was Woodrow Wilson, the 28th President of the United States. We in Pakistan want to have freedom. We want to be free of dictation. We want freedom from pressure. We want freedom from the problems that Pakistan faces today. For a strong Pakistan, we need strong leaders to make strong decisions. And as Bob just said, there are tough choices that need to be made. Let's hope our leadership can make those tough choices and we can see a strong Pakistan.